Hey peeps, we are back. We are talking The Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 8, Episode 10. Hey, before we get into the video, please do me the honors of subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell so you can always be notified when I post new content, hitting the thumbs up because that does wonders for my channel, and share. Thanks. All right, so before we get into the show, you guys can already tell that I post sporadically. So not the very next day after the show is aired. I can tell you now, one of the reasons that I post later is because I am at a really busy season in my life for work, my real job that pays my mortgage. And so by the time I get off work every day, I am completely exhausted. And all I want to do is close my eyes and go to sleep. And so watching TV, hearing the TV, hearing anything irritates the hell out of me. So I post as soon as I can. So I apologize, you guys, but my real life is really just out of control right now. I am living in total chaos with my work-life balance. So sorry, but let's get into it. Well, let's not get into it just yet. Are you guys watching The Traitors? Okay, I love that show. So I didn't know about The Traitors when it first came out. Actually, about a month ago, I found it on the Peacock app. And I watched the US Traitors. Then I watched the UK Traitors. Then I watched the Australian Traitors. And I am so into it. Anyway, this season of the US Traitors season 2 has started. Tonight airs episode 5. And you know, we have Larsa Pippen from Miami. She's on The Traitors this season. Phaedra Park, Tamra Judge from the OC, and Sheree. Honey, now listen, I'm not going to give anything away. I will not drop any spoilers. However, if you want to talk about it in the comments, just get in there and let me know. Phaedra is on there and she is doing beautifully. Now, we ended last week's episode with her letting Parvati know that she has crossed the line. Now, this is Parvati from Survivor. I have never been a big fan of Parvati. However, I am a huge fan of Dan. And I will just go ahead and say that I did not appreciate what happened to Johnny Bananas. I like that guy. He is a beast on the challenge. And I think he would have been a great player on The Traitors. Anyway, this is not even about The Traitors. I'm going to move on from here. But if you like competition game shows and, you know, you obviously love the Housewives, there's 4 housewives that are participating in The Traitors this season. Okay, so moving on to the show. All right, so the show starts off right. Okay, we see Karen and her daughter Raven. They are getting their first tattoos. They are going to get a little G in honor of Karen's mother. And I thought this was really cute. They showed us a little background. Raven is living in New York City. She is doing PR for fashion. And it seems to be going great for her. She looks like she is enjoying her life in the big city. She is having a great time. And I am really happy for her as well. Now, when Karen gets this little G, she is screaming and hollering like she is going through labor. It took like less than 5 minutes, ma'am. Okay, it is a tiny little G on her ankle. I said, Lord Jesus, she wasn't ready. However, she does make this comment that she didn't want to follow in the footsteps of Robin and Juan. Remember when Robin and Juan got those tattoos on their fingers? She said, you see how that's going. I said, you know what? Karen does not take a minute to get the hell off of Robin and Juan's neck. She will completely be shady about Robin and Juan forever. Candace then gets together with her mother. She is planning a beautiful Mother's Day brunch and she wants to invite all the girls and their mothers. Of course, she's not inviting Giselle. And I do realize that some people were upset. You know, she didn't invite Giselle, but they were all upset when Robin didn't invite Wendy. This is a total different thing. Giselle claimed her husband was some sort of predator. There is no way in hell that Giselle would ever be invited to an event that I was hosting. What Robin did to Wendy was a totally different thing. A totally different thing. No, ma'am. She was thinking about if she wanted to invite Robin or not, and she did decide to go ahead and invite Robin to this event. She had this comment about Ashley. She said that she really doesn't like Ashley. She doesn't bother with that raggedy bee. However, Ashley is a really good mom, and she likes Ashley's mom, Miss Sheila. And she said, so if Miss Sheila is going to come with her wig, she's got to bring her daughter. You know, Candace never misses an opportunity to talk about Miss Sheila's wigs. I don't get it. One thing I do agree with Candace on is I think Ashley is a really good mom too. Now Wendy, she's working on her daytime talk show, and I'm really excited about Wendy's talk show. I think she's going to make a great host of a talk show. But she does let us know that she has fired her producer, Marsha, because Marsha sent her a contract stating that she would be 50% owner of Wendy's show. She said this was her concept and her idea, and no way in hell she would give Marsha 50%. I absolutely agree 1000%. No, ma'am, you are not getting 50% of my show. So she did meet up with her new team, and they are going to work really hard to try to put together the talk show of her dreams. She wants the talk show to be like sitting at a table with your best girlfriends or with your family. She wants it to be a little political, educational, and entertainment at the same time. So she wants it to be hard hitting, but she also wants girls and people to watch it and also be able to have a little kiki. I think she would be perfect at this. So I'm wishing her the absolute best. I don't think she should have any problems getting some network to pick up her show. Then there was a segment with Nneka and her sister. And I thought as I watched this, I said, this is how she should have been introduced to us. She should have came on the show being introduced to us like this. But instead, she wanted to come on the show, be nasty and rude, stand on Wendy's neck, and then try to say that her mom is some sort of voodoo priestess. If she would have came on the show showing us her sister's family, her beautiful connection with her sister, and telling us about her dad, I would have liked her. I absolutely would have liked Nneka, but she came totally wrong. Giselle and Grace meet up with Karen and Raven. I loved it. I really do. When Karen and Giselle are at each other's necks, it is extremely entertaining. But when they are friends, I love it even more. They crack me up, and them laughing and joking and talking about a cookie bake-off from 7 years ago was hilarious. And Giselle said Karen was the judge and didn't want her to win because she was going to get a sash and a crown. And listen, I'm Team Karen. I wouldn't have wanted Giselle to win to get the sash and the crown either. Lord knows she would never let them live it down, and she would pull out that damn sash and crown all the time. I thought it was hilarious, and I enjoyed seeing Raven and Grace talk about college life. And I think that Raven was 100% spot on. You don't have to be 100% ready. When you get there, you will figure it out. Yes, when you get there at first, you're probably going to be sad and missing your mom. But after the first week, at least the week, you will be fine. You will be meeting all these new people. You will be free. You'll be making your own decisions. College is one of the best times of your life. You are growing and developing and learning and coming into who you really are. I think that Grace is going to be just fine. We see Robin and the boys. They go to a physical therapist so they can get stretched. I guess it's just physical therapy, keeping your limbs stretched out, helping you feel more comfortable, kind of maybe like a chiropractic visit. I don't know. They play the sports and they need, they need to be stretched. Anyway, Candace sends her a text message inviting her to the Mother's Day celebration, and Juan thought it was a very nice thing to do. But Robin, on the other hand, she did not. She absolutely did not. She did not think that it would be a good idea for her to go. She is still very upset. And I started thinking, I think it was last week, I was in the comments talking to one of my OG peeps. Hey, girl. Anyway, I was trying to figure out, both of us were trying to figure out, did anybody else know that Robin and Candace had that close of a relationship? Because on the show, I couldn't really tell that Robin and Candace were that close. So I was thinking maybe their relationship was off camera. Maybe that's how they became so close, because Candace seems to be really torn up over the loss of this friendship. And I just don't understand why. It's Robin and Juan's turn to get stretched. And Robin starts talking about their relationship and making it a point to spend time together. And Juan is asleep. I said, there he is again, embarrassing the shit out of you. He was wide awake until you started talking about y'all's relationship. Now all of a sudden he's over here calling hogs. I can't stand that man. Anyway, Miss Sheila says something about she doesn't like asparagus or Brussels sprouts because it makes your vagina stink. I have never heard that. I have never heard that. Now, I'm not a lover of asparagus. I'm really not. But I do love a good Brussels sprout from time to time. But I don't know anything about a stinking vagina. Get down in the comments, peeps. Have you ever heard that? Do you know that to be true? I'm just saying, that's a little weird. I thought it was funny when they got down to the event. They had Perfume de Marley there. And it was funny to me because I had never heard of them before until about maybe a month and a half ago. I was with one of my friends that has money, because honey, I do not. And we were at the Saks Fifth Avenue. I don't even, when I get to the mall and there's the entrance to Saks, I walk right on by. Anyway, I'm with my friend, and so we go into the Saks because she's searching for something, and we end up at the Perfume de Marley section. And honey, I end up trying on every perfume that they have in there. I smelled like a French whore when we came out of there. Anyway, some of those smell amazing. Other ones of theirs smelled a little like grandma to me. You know what I mean? It was given the Estee Lauder Youth Dew. Remember that Estee Lauder perfume your grandma used to wear, and it was brown in the bottle? My grandma still wears that. Anyway, I'm going to move on, but it's very expensive. I do mean expensive. I believe that one of those bottles was like $268. I said, oh shit, take me to Macy's. Anyway, let me move on. Candace did an amazing job at this event. I'm telling you, the table looked beautiful. It was a beautiful celebration of moms. You know, Mia shows up by herself. She says that her mom was unavailable. She tells somebody that her mom had to go to work. But in her confessional, she made it seem like, her mama just didn't want to be bothered and she wasn't coming. Okay, because she let us know that her mom always seems to make time for her sister. And she's been saying that for a couple seasons now. So it looks like her and her mom still have a lot of work to do. Now, Karen showed up alone because her mama, has passed away. And she said in her confessionals that she knows that her mom is still with her. And I believe that too. Now, I don't know what other people believe, but I do believe, one of my grandmothers, she passed away, and one of my papas. And I believe that they're with me every single day. So, that's just what I believe. And I don't know if it's 1000% true, but I believe it and it helps me. So anyway, it's true. So listen. Karen, when she sees Charisse, she makes these faces. I said, Lord, girl, please stop this. Stop letting Charisse tear your mood up. Stop it. Now, one thing that I thought was crazy is I seen Candace doing an interview.
And they didn't show this part, but I actually did like a special dedication to Karen's mother, who has passed away. And I was always kind of concerned because I wanted to do this event for a long time, but I always thought about how would I make Karen feel included with her mother being passed on. And it was a really sweet dedication. We actually partnered with the Alzheimer's Association, and Parfums de Marley made a donation on behalf of Karen's mother to the Alzheimer's Association.
Can you believe that? Why didn't Bravo leave that in? Why did they take that out? That seemed like that was a beautiful moment, and I would have rather seen that moment than Charisse get airtime talking to Mia about Jacqueline. Who cares? That, production, they be acting a fool. Wendy was not able to make it. She had a paperback book signing situation thing going on. However, Candace believes that she didn't come because NECA was going to be there. And you know what? I partially believe that that's true as well. But, Wendy probably already seen how that was going to work. She would show up there with her mother, and her mother would lose it on NECA. NECA would lose it on her mom, and then it would just become a nightmare and mess up everybody else's event. So I'm kind of glad that Wendy did not show up for this one. Charisse telling Mia that Jacqueline was crying, but then she was also saying negative stuff about Mia to NECA. I don't think that was important. I don't think it moved the show along, and I don't think any of us care. Jacqueline's not on the show anymore, which I would rather see Jacqueline than NECA. And we know current day, Mia and Jacqueline are close again. They're best friends. They're best buds. They're hanging out. They're on each other's social media. However, I agree with NECA on this. There is no way that I would sit down with a person that I just met and spend 2 hours trash talking my friend that I had been friends with for 15 years. There is no reason that NECA needs to have this conversation. You do not need to let her know this information about Mia. It just makes no sense. Why waste your time? Now, Charisse asking Ashley about signing her divorce papers. I agree with Charisse 100%. I think Ashley has not signed those papers because she wants to hold on to Mike and his money as long as she possibly can. That's just my opinion. Because if you really wanted to get rid of that man, you would have signed them papers as soon as they gave them to you and slid them back. Please have this certified with the courts. I'm done. Now, Karen at the table telling everybody about Le Dom. I agree with Candace. A businesswoman is going to be a businesswoman 24/7, especially if they are about their business and they want to make some money. Yes, you have Perfume de Marley here, but I've got Le Dom and it's down at the Bloomingdale's, another store that costs too much. I went to the Bloomingdale's, the one in Manhattan, with one of my girlfriends. And honey, listen, I was just looking. Yes, ma'am. Just to say I was in the Bloomingdale's in Manhattan, honey. This was a couple years back. Just looking, I didn't buy a damn thing. I am not rich. When Robin didn't show up to the event, I did appreciate that she texted her and said, hey, I don't think it would be a good idea for me to come to this event. We need to have a conversation, without the group. I think that they both should have known that already. I mean, when they were in Austin, Candace brought that up. She said maybe we should meet. I don't know why they didn't. They should have handled this one-on-one a while ago. Also, Karen talking about going to Surrey. I need them to go out of the country. Go out of the country. Not go in the country, but out. Okay, they going back to Surrey again. I don't know. Maybe this is written in her contract. She's the ambassador for Surrey. You have to have Surrey on the show every year. I don't know. But she says that she can't have them all there because of her insurance. So she's just going to put all their names in a fishbowl and pick out who can go. Now, Mia in her confessional, she has me cracking up. She says she don't know what kind of insurance this is. Does Karen need her to send her a cash app, to help her pay for this insurance? This is ridiculous. Mia is funny in her confessionals. I agree with that. What the hell is going on? Candace sings them a song called Wind, and she says that it reminds them of a mother pouring into her daughter. I thought so too, but it reminded me of a mother pouring into her daughter or her son. It brought little tears to my eyes. That's a beautiful song. I'm going to have to look that up. Okay, so when Robin and Candace meet up, and Candace is dressed like she's going to the funeral with her all black and that black funeral hat, I laughed. I ain't gonna lie.
What I have done to hurt you?
I feel like it should be pretty self-explanatory what my feelings are. I feel like anyone would feel the way that I feel when they see a friend take to social media and repeatedly pretty much spread lies and trash them and drag them for a personal decision that they made that had nothing to do with you. So as soon as you took to Twitter and gave your ranting commentary about what was going on in my life, I said, oh, the friendship is killed.
I didn't say what I said to be offensive to you.
Why are you going with the hoe to the laundromat? Okay. Go by yourself. Send the assistant. Why is the head coach washing uniforms?
Okay. Who does that to their friends?
We all tweet about each other. It's categorically unfair to have this issue with me and not let me know that you are offended. I had no idea.
I'm not throwing my husband under the bus for anyone's entertainment. If that issue is no longer an issue, I'm not digging that up to make my husband look bad.
We are on a show about our lives.
There's a thin line between how much we should share, especially about our partners.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And what we should keep to ourselves. Is you spreading the narrative that me, Giselle, and Ashley were in cahoots on a cover-up for Juan and deliberately plotted on your husband.
It was very uncharacteristic of you to go against your friend and come to the defense of Chris. I think that you knew what Giselle was planning to do?
No. Like,
Yes.
do you know how disgusting that is?
Birds of a feather flock together.
Oh my God.
I don't understand why I'm not allowed to feel a particular way and you make it about you.
All right, so did anybody notice that production was more than happy to show flashbacks of Candace talking crap about Robin and being on Twitter and being on Watch What Happens Live and the blogs? But not once did they show any flashbacks of Robin and Giselle doing anything negative to Candace. Not once. Production clearly has favorites. Now, Robin makes that comment that she is not going to throw her husband under the bus for entertainment. And I thought to myself, well, let's see. You're willing to throw Michael Darby under the bus for entertainment. You were willing to throw Ray under the bus for entertainment. You wanted to talk about his tax issues. You wanted to say that Karen was cheating on him with the blue-eyed guy. You were willing to throw Eddie and Wendy under the bus for entertainment. You were willing to talk about Mia's husband, Gordon, for entertainment. You also talked about Chris and called him a predator for entertainment. When Monique was still on the show, you were willing to say that her baby was her personal trainer's and throw her and her husband under the bus for entertainment. So you and your friend Giselle could throw anybody under the bus for entertainment, but you refuse to throw your husband under the bus for entertainment. And for her to say that there's a thin line between what she'll put on the show, what she won't put on the show, what she'll hold back, production should be listening to that. Why should she get a check to be on this show every season, throwing everybody else's relationships, real lives, their husbands under the bus for entertainment, but she's not willing to put herself out there? That is not okay. Robin is upset with Candace because Candace has said some negative stuff about her and her husband. But you also got on Watch What Happens Live and you said some very negative stuff about Chris. You said that Giselle was not lying about Chris. You also said that Chris probably just doesn't remember because he was drunk. You also talked about them on your podcast, but Candace can't talk about them. Is that what that is? Robin didn't want to take any accountability at all. Robin has proved that Candace cares more about her than Robin cares about Candace. We remember how you treated that woman in Miami when you threw that Bluetooth speaker on the table. And not only that, Ashley has said a whole lot of stuff about Robin and Juan's relationship over all these years. But Robin doesn't have any problems with Ashley. And not only that, I was really surprised that Candace invited Ashley to this event because remember, Ashley was also supporting Giselle in the bullshit about Chris. And she also invited her friend Deborah on the show to act like Chris had approached her. So, Candace has forgiven Ashley. And also not only that, when Ashley had her housewarming party, she didn't invite Candace. Candace wasn't invited. You know what I mean? But Candace has forgiven Ashley for whatever reason. And not only that, Robin is so upset with Candace for what she said in social media and on the blogs. But you and Giselle perpetrated this stuff about her husband on the TV show, also on your podcast and on your Patreon. Not only that, Candace, Karen, and the rest of the ladies have talked about you and Juan on the show. So it's okay to do it on the show, but it's not okay for Candace to do it on social media. I mean, one of my favorite YouTubers says all the time, you can't disrespect or mistreat a person and then tell them how they're supposed to react. And why should Candace not believe that Giselle and Robin plan this out? Because remember, Candace is the one who told us before that they had all got together and planned the whole storyline that they were going to come against Monique and say that her baby wasn't her husband's. Remember? So it's not far-fetched for her to believe that you guys wouldn't come together to plan this plot against her husband. Now, one thing that Candace said that I was just shocked about, she said that she didn't know that Robin was upset about her tweets and her social media post and her Watch What Happens Live comments, and Robin didn't tell her she was upset. I think that was just self-explanatory. I mean, who wouldn't be upset when you got online and said all that shit about them and their spouse? I mean, anybody would be upset by it. And that's why Robin should understand why Candace is so upset. I don't know, you guys. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you think. I'm telling you what, I saw the previews for next week, and I seen Ashley saying that her and Giselle have started a clothing line called GNA, and I seen Wendy laugh so hard. She was like, you and Giselle? And Ashley said, well, it's going to be an athleisure line. I don't know, ma'am. I have seen the way Ashley dresses. I have seen the way that Giselle dresses. I don't give a damn. Athleisure, leave that to Sheree. Anyway, peeps, get down in the comments and let me know what you think. And until next time, bye.